So this slides presents the topic coverage. 3D concept, defining 3D, principles of 3D computer graphics, 3D limitation, to computer graphics introduction, to Blender, history of Blender, key features. So let's define first the 3D. So the term 3D describes any objects that occurs on a 3-axis Cartesian coordinate system. So what is this Cartesian coordinate system? When you remember when you are high school, so I think there is a geometry subject that that that's Cartesian coordinate systems created by René Descartes. So Cartesian coordinate system is like an orthographic view that composed of two lines, the horizontal line and vertical line. So what is that horizontal or vertical line? So a Cartesian coordinate system is basically an elaborative way in describing the x and y axis. So the horizontal line in orthographic view at Cartesian coordinate system is the x-axis. So, and the y-axis being vertical. So, that are very much the same. So, that are very much the same in the real world of 3D with one exception. So, when it comes to 3D, there is a third axis which is represent the depth. So, Cartesian coordinate system is basically 2D or two-dimensional, composed of x-axis and y-axis. So when it comes to 3D, there is a third axis which is z-axis. So if you are working with 2D or Cartesian coordinate system, it only have a height and width. So when it comes to 3D, there is a depth. So by definition of 3D. So by definition of 3D means you are working with three-dimensional, which is involved with depth and height. So when you're working with only a height and width, so you are working only with two-dimensional. So like Photoshop, when you're creating some vectors, so Photoshop only have a width and height. So it is a two-dimensional. So when it comes to 3D, when you're working with three-dimensional, involved with this application or involved with this process, so you are not going to make a width and height only. So when it comes to 3D, involve the dimension of width, depth and height. So everything you see is a three-dimensional. So in real world, you see some objects in reality. So everything you see in reality is a three-dimensional, like chairs, desks, buildings, plants, people. So why they say three-dimensional? So chair have a height, width and depth. You can see the height of the chair, depth of the chair, width of the chair. Also desks, buildings, plants, peoples, and so on and so forth. So in computer graphics, calling it 3D is a distortion of the truth. So what's that distortion of the truth? So I explain it later. So in computer graphics, calling it 3D is a distortion of the truth because in reality, 3D computer graphics are two-dimensional representation of the virtual three-dimensional world. So this sentence is medyo magulo. So in computer graphics, what is that distortion of the truth? So, for example, so distortion of the truth. So, when it comes now, or in computer graphics, calling it 3D is a distortion of truth because in reality, 3D computer graphics are two-dimensional representations of the virtual three-dimensional world. So, for example, you have a video camera. So, when you have a video camera and are filming the room around you, and as you move along the area, you can see various 3D objects like chairs, tables, peoples. So, when you have a video camera and are filming the room around you, and as you move along the area, you can see various 3D objects. So, when the time you play, or when you play your video, so when the time you play back the video on your VCR or DVD player, so or else, so you will only see a flat screen. So so flat screen, so player or something that flat when you're playing your video record. So you will only see a flat two-dimensional image that represents a 3D world you have filmed. So on your camera recorded the 3D around the 3D around you. So when you are recording a walking around the room, so the people walking around the room, she or he saw some 3D objects. So when you play, or when you're done with your recording and then play your film, you can only see a flat screen. So that is this distortion of truth, because in reality, 3D computer graphics are two-dimensional representation of the virtual three-dimensional world. So the scene will appear to be realistic. So as you view the film, lights, colors, and shadows appear to give the scene life and three-dimensional depth, even though it is in fact a 2D. So that will be the distortion of truth. So distorting the truth. So principles of 3D computer graphic. So when working with a 3D software application, remember that you are dealing with a virtual computer world. So you are dealing with a virtual computer world, and understand how objects are represented and stored in the computer. So within the virtual world, there are things such as coordinate system, polylines, and cameras, among others. So let's understand 3D. Let's understand 3D space. So 3D space is a mathematically defined cube of cyberspace in the computer. So what's cyberspace? Cyberspace is different from physical space since it only exists in a piece of software. So, however, 3D is infinitely large as that of physical space, and it is easy to get disoriented. So let's recall let's recall the coordinates or x, y, and z axis. So coordinates, so the smallest, so when it comes to coordinates, the smallest area in 3D space is called the point. So why point? So without point, you can create a line. So without point, you can create polygons, because polygons created by vertex and lines. So without point, you can create some 3D graphics, 2D graphics, lines, polylines, vectors. So that's why the smallest area in 3D space is called point. So each point defined by a unique set of 3 numbers. So when it comes to 3D, it is unique set of 3 numbers called coordinates. So for example is 23, 45, 6, 8, 8. So 23 is the value of width, and 45 is the value of height. Then z is the value of, or 688 is the value of depth. So each point has 3 coordinate representing. So each point has 3 coordinate representing the height, width, and depth of the point. So axis. So an axis is an imaginary line in cyberspace that defines a direction. So the three standard axes in most of the 3D modeling software are referred to as x, y, and z axis. So you can consider the x-axis to be the width, and the y-axis is to be the depth, and the z-axis is to be the height. So when it comes to two-dimensional or coordinate system, the x represented by the width and y represented by the height. So with x is the width, y is the height. But when it comes to axis of three-dimensional, so x-axis to be the width, y-axis to be the height, to be the depth, sorry. So y-axis to be the depth, and x-axis to be the height. So axis when it comes to 3D, so x-axis to be the width, the y-axis to be the depth, and the z-axis to be the height. So for all the other axes, you get a positive value when you travel up the y-axis and negative when you travel down. The same rule applies for the z-axis. So for example, 128 z-axis, so x-axis, so 128, positive 128, so it will going to the right, so it will be the first point or the first value. So negative 16 for the y-axis, so 128 positive value for the x-axis and negative 16 for the value of y-axis. So if the value is negative, so y-axis will go downward. So if the value is positive, going upward. So if the x value is negative, it goes to left. Then the value, if the value is positive, so it goes to right. So let's go with the lines, polylines, and polygons. So a line created if you connect two points in cyberspace. So that's why point is the smallest area in 3D. So you can create line if you connect that two points. So for example, point 1, then create a line to point 2. So you have already created a line. So if you continue the line and connect it to another line and another line, so create a many vertices or points, then connect it with the multiple lines, you can create a polylines. So which is refers to the line with more than one segment. So what is this polygon? A line, segments. So what's this? So this is a right triangle. So this is a right triangle, and also this is a polygon. So this vertex, it means that is a point. So that is a point, vertex. So how many vertices or points within this polygon, right triangle? So there are 3 points or 3 vertices. So 1, 2, 3 vertices or 3 points. So once you connect this point 1 to point 2, you can create a line. So that will be called the edge. So this is also a other called for segment. So lines connecting with 2 points. So that will be the edge. Vertex, that will be the point. And then what is this? Face. So face is the closed connection of lines that you can create a face. So this is a face. So this will be the edge. This will be the vertex, edge or segment, vertex or point, face, connection or close connections of lines. Face is just like a polygon in 2D. So that it is. So let's go with the 3D relation computer graphics. So in computer graphics, objects exist only in the computer memory and have no physical form. Since objects do not exist outside the computer, technically they are just mathematical formulas. So everything about computer graphics, or everything you see in that software, on that for example Adobe Photoshop, then Adobe Flash, so Blender, so everything that created in that application or software is created by mathematical formulas. So and also how about that lights, colors? So that light and colors are little electrons running around and are recorded by adding formulas to represent lights and cameras. Okay. So, however, almost all of the 3D softwares take care of the mathematical side, which enables you to explore the artistic side. So using programs or application like 3ds Max, Maya, Blender, so it's the same, or this application is the same as videotaping a room full of object that you construct. So like any other 3D modeling software, it enables you to design a room, its contents, and all of the 3D objects that may complete that area. So creating models of object required you to choose from a library of predefined materials and texture, so the object will become more 3D like and realistic. So how can you apply or make that 3D into a realistic view? So in that application, you have to choose from texture like plastic, wood, or stone and apply them to the object. So when you have choose a texture, you can create a object that have a realistic color or texture. So you can create your design materials to be you can create your design materials to be able to control its shininess and transparency, or even use painted or scanned images to make its surface appear the way you want it to be. So after adding the materials to the scene, you can create a camera. So camera is just like a recording camera. So this camera represent the eye viewer, so or the observer of that 3D software. So without camera, you can present a 3D output. So this is one of most important part of the 3D software. So because this camera represents the eye of that 3D manipulation. So you can also adjust the setting of your virtual camera and create angle effects, to zoom and pan. So there are many options to manipulate that camera. So you can also add various kind of lighting to make further realistic effects. So for example, you can add a emission lighting, different colors of light, then different angles of light, so that you can create realistic shadows, then right shadows, create a good shadows that or also a good quality of light to to create a or to represent your good texture that applied on that object. So you can make a different lightings realistic effects. So you can also you can position the lights as well to control how object will be illuminated and how they will cast shadow into the scene and onto other objects. So you can also render the animation to make a digital video file to view the finished result and share it with others. So that will be the 3D concepts. So that will be the 3D concept, and let's go with the introduction of Blender. So Blender application will be the software that we going to use to create a 3D object. So make sure this Blender is don't worry, this Blender is a open source, and then you can download it as a free, then you can practice by your own design. So let's go with the introduction to Blender. So history about Blender. So Blender was first conceived in December. So what do you mean by conceived? Conceive, other word for conceive is to pinag-isipan. So pinag-isipan, not created on December 1990. So Blender was first conceived in December 1993. So and born as a usable product in August 1994. So born means created or done building that software. So you can use already that application. So Blender born as a usable product in August 1994 as an integrated application that allows the creation of a broad range of 2D and 3D content. So Blender provides a broad spectrum of modeling, texturing, lighting, animation, and video post-processing. So in one package. So Blender provides modeling, texturing, lighting, animation, and also video post-processing in only one package. So that are one of the features of Blender. So through its open architecture, Blender provides cross-platform. So what are the cross-platform of that application? So first, interoperability, extensibility, and an incredibly small footprint and tightly integrated workflow. So, that are the platform: interoperability, extensibility, an incredibly small footprint, and tightly integrated workflow. So, Blender is one of the most popular open source 3D graphics application in the world. So, so aim worldwide at media professional and artist. Blender Blender can be used to create 3D visualizations, still as well as broadcast and cinema quality videos. So, while the while the incorporation of a real-time 3D engine allows the creation of 3D interactive content for stand-alone playback. So, originally developed, so Blender is originally developed by the company of not a number, or in short, NaN, capital N, small a, and capital N. So, Blender continues to be developed as a free software. So, with the source code available under the GNU-PL license, so development is now conducted under the leadership of the Blender Foundation in the Netherlands. So, history. 1998. So, Ton Rosenthal co-founded the Dutch animation studio Neo Geo. So, Neo Geo became the largest 3D animation studio in the Netherlands. So, and one of the leading animation houses in Europe. So, when you remember the old games, Neo Geo, Splash Screen. So, Tom Rosendal is the founded that animation. So, if you remember the arcade games or Hulugan Piso Laro, so if the game or the game have a splash screen that Neo Geo, so Tom Rosenthal is the co-founder of that animation, not that game. So, 1995, this rewrite began and was designed to become the 3D software creation suite we all know as Blender. So, in 1998, Ton decided to establish a new company called Not a Number. 1999, Yan attended its first SIGGRAPH conference in an effort to more widely promote Blender. So, what is that SIGGRAPH? So, Blender first 99 SIGGRAPH convention was a huge success and gathered a tremendous amount of interest from both press and attendees. So, Blender was a hit and its huge potential confirmed. So, on 2000, on the wings of a successful SIGGRAPH, NAN secured financing of 4.5 billion euro from venture capitalists. So, this large inflow of cash enabled NAN to rapidly expand its operations. Soon NAN boosted as many as 50 employees working around the world and trying to improve and promote Blender. So, on 2000, again, Blender released version 2.0. So this version of Blender added the integration of a game engine to the suite. So by the end of 2000, the number of users registered on the non-website surpassed 250,000. So imagine that. So unfortunately, Nan's ambition and opportunities did not match the company's capabilities and market realities of the time. Why? Why? Unfortunately, Nan's ambition and opportunities did not match. So, this overextension resulted in restarting Nan with new investors, funding in a smaller company in April 2001. So, 6 months later, Nan, or Not in Number, first commercial software product, Blender Publisher, was launched. So, this product was targeted at the emerging market of interactive web-based 3D media. So, due to poor sales and the ongoing difficult economic climate, so the new investors decided to shut down all non-operations. So, the shutdown also included halting the development of Blender. So, although there were clearly deficiencies in in the then current version of Blender, with a complex internal software architecture, unfinished features, and a non-standard way of providing the GUI. So, with the passionate support from the user community and customers who had purchased Blender published in the past. So, Ton Rosendal could not justify leaving Blender to disappear into oblivion. So, since restarting a company with a sufficiently large team of developers was not feasible. So, in 2002, Ton Rosendal founded the non-profit organization, Blender Foundation. So, what is that? Founded the non-profit organization. So, Ton Rosendal founded the non-profit organization, or the Blender Foundation. So, the Blender Foundation's primary goal was to find a way to continue developing and promoting Blender as a community-based open source project. So, in July 2002, Ton managed to get the investors to agree to a unique Blender foundation plan. So, to attempt to release Blender as open source, the free the free blender campaign, so to raise 100,000 euro, so that the foundation could not buy the rights to the blender source code and intellectual property rights from the non-investors, and subsequently release Blender to the open source community. So with an enthusiastic group of volunteers, among them several ex, not a number employees. So a fundraising campaign was launched to free Blender. So to everyone's surprise, to delight, the campaign reached the 100,000 goal, or 100,000 euro goal, in only 7 short weeks. So only Sunday, October 13, 2002. So Blender was released to the world. Under the term of the GNU, or General Public License, or GPL. So Blender development continues to this day, driven by a team of far-flung, dedicated volunteers from around the world, led by Blender's original creator, which is Ton Rosendal. So what are the key features of Blender? So key features of fully integrated creation suite, offering a broad range of essential tools for the creation of 3D content, including modeling, UV mapping, texturing, rigging, scaling, animation, particle, and other simulation, scripting, rendering, compositing, post-production, and game creation. So next, cross-platform. So presentation explained by itself. So that will be the topic for this week. So get in touch with this lecture. Then time to time view our Modo group. And then good luck for the quizzes. So, bye.